Hi, it's Nikki here. Just finished the last of the seminars from the World of Learning exhibition, and this one was called Don't Tick the Box, and it was a chap called Owen Rose who was presenting it on behalf of Actian. I have to say it's probably the best presentation that I've been to at a World of Learning exhibition. Very good, both in terms of presenting, but the content as well, and how he made it relevant to L&D. So Actian do a lot of work in the L&D sphere for lots of different types of people, but ultimately I love the message that Owen was talking about. So he was saying, let's think about learning almost like being an advertising campaign, because if you think about what advertisers do, they deal in behavioural change. And that's ultimately what a lot of us are actually doing when we're thinking about learning development. We're looking for a behavioural change. So we were talking about, let's make that happen from an advertising perspective. And so we started thinking about that. And there were four key points that he went through. The first one being nudge, how we can nudge people. So it's not telling people to do something, it's just nudging them in the right direction. The example that he gave from this was about when you're driving down the road and you've got the little happy face because you're doing the right speed limit, or you've got the little frowny face because you're not doing the right speed limit. And he was saying how that is one of the most influential ways of being able to allow people to drive at the right speeds. Which is really interesting, isn't it? Because of all the other advertising campaigns that you can think of, that's a really gentle version. But there's lots of elements to do that. The fact that it's visual so other people can see it, the fact that there is humour in it, which was actually point 2 of his presentation, about interjecting some humour in it, and how Shreddies in Canada had changed, the little square Shreddies had changed their advertising campaign to being the new diamond Shreddies, and they'd literally just put it 45 degrees on the side, and that increased the take-up of sales for that. So nudge was 1, humour was 2, surprise was 3, about interjecting surprise in there. So you think you're going down one path and it changes. And I've talked about this before in some of the other blogs and things that I've done, about how sometimes the unexpected can actually make you stand up and go, oh yeah, no, I hadn't realised that. And finally about connection as well, about building connections with people, not necessarily because of the product, but because about what that person is going through, and ultimately they just link with a connection to the product that you've got. So those 4 elements were fascinating, and certainly the nudge theory, which has been well documented and has kind of passed me by a little bit, I've got to say, is something that I want to research a bit more. So don't be surprised if there's a few more blogs or something like that for that one. But for now, that's the end. I've got one more little video to do that will summarise some of my thoughts. But I've had a great 2 days, and I hope you've enjoyed listening about it. So I'll catch you soon. Cheers now, bye.